Yeah, so hi everybody. Here we are on the Ile de Ré, another beautiful day on a beautiful place. And this is probably one of my favourite places to visit when we come over. So yeah, if ever you're over this way, come to the Ile de Ré, come to St Martin and just enjoy it. We've just had some mussels for lunch, had a walk round the harbour, seen all the boats, bought a new hat. So yeah, great day. So we're going to answer the last few questions, and the first one was from Hugh. Yeah, Hugh is from Wouldn't It Be Nice. He has a YouTube channel and we've become friends on there. Done one or two collaborations together. I made him painted him the head of a walking stick which he made, and he has bought some paintings off me as well. So yeah, Hugh's question was, what's our chosen route? And one or two other people asked this as well, how long it takes. What's our chosen route for getting to the house from England? Which way do you prefer to come?
I definitely prefer coming on the ferry. The first time I came over, we flew. Just trying to remember, we actually flew, and that was as you were buying the house.
Yes.
And we flew over, but it was a very brief. We arrived late on the Friday evening, and we were flying back again on the Sunday afternoon. So it was just literally just a quick flyover. After that, the next time I came, we drove. Went down to Dover, came on the tunnel, and then drove from Calais. And I just remember sitting in the car and thinking, this is horrendous. It's just too long. It's just too much. It isn't too much if you're...
The tunnel bit is fantastic, isn't it?
Yes.
You get from England to France in 30 minutes.
Lovely, yeah. And I suppose if you're doing stop-offs on the way and having a touring holiday, it's great. But when you've got a destination that you're very much heading towards, and that's where you want to be, it's not. You're just driving for just too long. It's
7
just
hours.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 7 hours, almost in, just non-stop.
Yeah. But anyway, we've got some friends, Mike and Maggie, and they have a house much further up north. And talking to them, they recommended to us to come over on the ferry from Portsmouth to St Malo. So we gave it a blast, and it is just the best. You get on the ferry. I mean, everybody's got their own little routine. We always get on the ferry, go and have a tea straight away, and then we can just chill. We're going to drop just an overnight bag off at the cabin, and we just go and have a chill, have some drinks, and then have a good night's sleep. Wake up the next morning, off the ferry by about 9ish. We're usually off and back on the road, thereabouts, isn't it? 9:30. And you're refreshed and you've had a good evening, good night's sleep.
That is the best part, isn't it?
And it is just definitely the best way.
And then we're at the house for like 1 o'clock, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got about 180 miles this side, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that, I think for both of us, that's our preferred route.
Most definitely, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't come any other way now. If you have to, I worked it all out, which was the best way, the most economical way of doing it. And there's not a lot of difference, but now apparently going on the tunnel as quick as it is a horrendous price. So it is by far, and petrol, with less petrol, it is by far the best way. And you wake up in the morning, you're nice and refreshed, you go and have breakfast, get in the car, get off the ferry, 3 hours later you're in your house. So that's the way we prefer, isn't it?
Most definitely. The only time that we would do the tunnel is if we were to bring our dog over, which we haven't done yet because of being too busy renovating. But we would then have to come on the tunnel, because if you take your dog on the ferry, I believe that there's some cabins that you can take your dog to, but I don't know whereabouts you can take your dog on the boat then.
I don't think you can take it out of the cabin, I might be wrong. But I
don't know if you're allowed to take them somewhere for exercise. It's either that or they have to stay in the car for the whole of the journey, and you can't go down to your dog.
I wouldn't do that, no.
Which it's far too long. You're on the boat, boarded on by sort of about 7ish, something like that in the evening, and you're not leaving again until the next morning. It's too much. You can't leave a dog in a car, and especially with the heat as it's been.
Yeah, our dog would fret, wouldn't she? She just wouldn't know what was going off and sat in the back of the car. So we don't do that.
Flying is a nice option, but when you get to the house, we really do need a car. So we'd have to hire a car.
Yeah.
so we might as well come in our own car.
Yeah. And I do believe now that after Brexit we are not allowed to own a car and leave it in France unless we become citizens. So I believe, someone told me that you can't now own a car and just leave it there to be used as and when you arrive, so it's not an option. And as quick as flying is, you have to hire a car and all the things that go with that. So no, the ferry is the best option in driving, and I don't mind the drive down. It takes 3 hours at one side, 3 hours at the other, and you can stop and have a drink on the boat and something to eat in between, so it works perfect for us.
Are we going to install aircon?
Yeah, no we're not. It's too expensive for the time we're there. Yeah, we have great summers, but most of the time you're out of the house, you're not in the house. So no, we won't be installing aircon. We have some fans and they work fine, don't they?
Yeah, keeping the shutters closed and the windows just open a little bit, lets the air circulate.
Yeah.
And the house hasn't been totally unbearable at all. In fact, it's been at times really nice and cool in there.
Yeah, it has, yeah. And this is something I've said before, is I've had one or two comments about why haven't you insulated the walls when you put in the plasterboard. It's totally unnecessary. The walls are self-insulating. A normal house, I would guess, with the brick, the plasterboard, the block board and whatever, is probably about 4, 8, 12, 15 inches thick. Our house is a minimum of 2 foot thick, and it's stone, solid stone on both sides, and then it's crammed in the middle. They're self-insulating, and the beauty of them is in this sort of weather, when you go into the house, you can feel the temperature drop straight away. It keeps it nice and cool. So putting 4-inch insulation up is a complete waste of time. Yes, we put it on the ceiling. It's mainly for acoustic reasons, to keep the noises down and what have you, and yes, it does help to keep the warmth in. Not that we need that.
No, but just for the winter it stops it rising
yeah,
up and out.
Yeah, hot air rises, and in the winter time, yes, it would keep the house heated. But no, we're not going to go to the expense of putting air conditioning in. The school next door has it for the kids. It is available. I mean, lots of houses have it, but we won't be going to that expense. So no, we won't be doing that.
Where is the mayor's office?
Right, where is the mayor's office? Well, in some ways I couldn't have picked a better spot, and I couldn't have picked a worse spot. If the mayor sits at his desk and looks left out of his window, he can see my house and what I'm doing, and that's paid me a visit once or twice just to check what I'm doing. Yeah. As John, my mate, will remember. He is directly opposite us, as is the boulangerie, where you buy your bread from, as is the bar, as is the restaurant, as is the corner shop. They're all within less than 100 metres. I am right in the town centre, or village centre. If you put into your sat-nav the code, the zip code, the postal code for Vouet, it takes you to my house, because we're next to the church, we're next to the mayor's office, and we're in the village centre. So yeah, we're very close to the mayor, and he very kindly keeps an eye on me and makes sure I'm not messing around doing things I shouldn't be doing. He's a really nice guy. I met him the other night at an evening market. He came over, shook my hand, and said hello, how are you, and what have you. So yeah, we are right in the village centre. It's not a noisy place. Yeah, it's we are perfectly situated. We love it where we are, in the fact that everything is just walk out the door, and we can shout across to the boulangerie, and they throw the bread over the road to us. So we're in a perfect spot, aren't we? One thing I would recommend to anybody who comes to stay at our place: go to the restaurant. Melanie and Oliver, who own it, are very, very nice people. They don't speak much English, but they cook fantastic food. Her brother is a chef. They run the restaurant and the bar. They've got a better attitude in some ways than most bars and restaurants over here, and that they do open late, especially at a weekend. The food is tremendous and unbelievable prices, so yeah, go and visit if ever you come over here.
Fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah. You were all doing the dancing the other night, weren't you?
But it's not rowdy, it's not.
No.
It is just a lovely place, and you get such a mix of people in there.
Mm.
It is just a lovely, friendly bar.
Yeah. The one thing we don't get, even though we're next to the bar, and the one thing you don't tend to get in France, now I'm excluding Paris in this and some of the big cities, is you don't have this yob culture. You don't have this bar culture. The bar can be open till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and you wouldn't know it. It's more of a bistro than a bar, just a very friendly, nice place. And you tend to find that in most villages. They don't have any problem with drink and drunks and what have you. So yeah, the fact that we're near to a bar and restaurant, I don't think that's a rowdy place. It's not. It's very good. The donkey makes more noise, and say he's gone at the moment. So yeah, it's great. A great place to be next to that. So yeah, next question.
Mosquito nets.
Yeah, mosquito nets. That's quite a good question actually. Something I've never even thought of, and yet mosquitoes are around. We don't get a lot. You get more towards the other side of the village because it's next to the canal. But it's a really good question, and I think it's something we should look at to put up in the rooms across the windows. You obviously, as Susan said, you have the shutters, don't we? And they're great for keeping the place cool. But yeah, I think mosquito nets might be worth looking at, especially like a roller blind one.
Yeah, if you just had a roller blind one, you could pull it down, and that would just
yeah,
solve that problem. But
yeah. The thing you have to deal with as well is the fact that the windows open inwards, so it's not so easy to put things like curtains up and what have you, is it? You know, nets and what have you. But yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
Something to look at.
Definitely. I've not seen any, but I'm sure they will be here somewhere. So thanks for that question. It made me think. Yeah.
Room sizes and tour of the house.
Go on then. Yeah, you answer that one.
What room sizes?
Yeah.
I have no idea. The rooms are big.
Yeah. Someone asked if the rooms in the main house are the same size as the ones in the Jeep. No, they're not. The kitchen is 18 feet by 18 feet, as are the bedrooms. The whole house is a lot bigger. I think the hallway is probably half the size of the Jeep, isn't it? It's a fair size the hallway is downstairs. So no, the Jeep is a smaller part of the house. What was the other part of the question?
Tour of the main house.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a tour before we start the work. We're going to walk through, tell you exactly what the plans are, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot to do. I'm looking forward to it. That's phase 3. As we said on the previous video, you know, next is the garden, which plans are afoot for that. We're making inquiries into what we need and what have you. But yeah, the main house rooms are a lot bigger. I mean, you tell them what we intend to do with the rooms, because what we're going to do about the kitchen wasn't even there, was it?
Well, no. I mean, I assume it was a dining room.
Probably, yeah.
It's hard to say really, because although there was a sink in the Jeet, I don't know. That was like it had been put in as that somebody was just going to live in just that little bit as they got older, or I don't really quite. I'm not sure. So was the main house, the room we're going to do is the kitchen, was that the main cooking area? Because
no.
But there wouldn't have been any running water in it.
No, there's no plumbing there, was there? No. I know when I came to look round the house, and it was in a bad state. There was a sink there which was plumbed in. Me and John took it out, and there was a cooker that wasn't working or anything, but it was in there. And I just think the French tend to live in the kitchen. They don't tend to be like this. You know, we go in the kitchen, we cook, we eat, we walk out and go into the lounge. They basically, the houses I've been in anyway, they use the kitchen for everything, and they probably use the lounge for, you know, Sundays and when the vicar comes to call. But yeah, they tend to live in the kitchen, and I think that the part in the Jeep now, which is the lounge area, the kitchen area and all that, where the stairs are, was where they lived. You know, they ate and cooked and sat in there, didn't they, and had a TV. Well, I don't even think they had a TV, I don't know. So yeah, the rooms are big. They're 18 foot square, the main bedroom. Both bedrooms that we're going to put in are going to have ensuite facilities. We've got a very large landing area as well. There's all beams up there which we may cover over. The lounge is probably the smallest of all the rooms, but even that's
big.
Yeah, that's a fair size. We've just discovered a fireplace behind one of the walls. So what we'd like to do as well is each room we'd like to expose at least one wall with the stonework. That is a plan. The kitchen area will have a log burner to be in the fireplace there, and it will be a dining area, cooking area, and also a couple of sofas in there as well. So yeah, they are a lot bigger.
Yeah, well, it's big enough.
Yeah. Another question I got asked, and I can't remember who asked me this, but thank you for asking this, it made me laugh. Do I always use a new paintbrush? Yeah, I keep the company in paintbrushes. You know what, these paintbrushes cost me like €2 ago. I can't be bothered cleaning them. I'll do the job, and when that's it, they go into the back of the trailer to go to the tip. Yeah, it might be a bit wasteful, but you know, at €2 it's going to cost me more for a bottle of white spirit. It's going to take me 5-10 minutes to clean each one, get covered in dirt, and have to clean my hands and everything else. So thank you very much, but yeah, I do. I'll use a paintbrush, and once that job's done, I throw it away. Unless it's something that's easy enough to clean, then I will keep it. But, yeah, emulsion or something like that. But 9 times out of 10, I just throw them and use another one. Our local DIY centre cleared a lot of them out at like 50p, 50 cents each. So I just bought loads of them and used them. But good question, made me laugh.
Last one. Do we have to do as the mayor says?
Yes. The mayor is God. He walks on water. He cannot be criticised. Yeah, you just obey what he says. But he's very understanding, very accommodating, a really nice guy. They have more power in France, so I'm led to believe, than the police force. They can enter your home without a warrant. Not that they ever do, but they have that right, so I've been told. Yes, you have to go to the mayor for most things. Obviously things that you're doing internally you don't have to ask, but anything externally, especially with our house being next to the church, you have to get permission. And in a lot of cases it's just writing it down on a piece of paper and saying this is what you would like to do, will you grant that, and what have you. And yeah, unless it's something exceptional, it usually goes through pretty easy. Certain things they can't stop you from doing. It's like if you have a house with only one exit and you want to put another door in, you're allowed to have 2 exits for fire reasons and what have you. But yeah, when you go to a village in France, you make friends with the mayor, and life's a lot better. Happy mayor, happy life, that's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah. So that pretty much covers all of the questions. Big thank you for all of them. You know, it's nice to see that people are interested. Nothing's too personal, you know, we'll answer most things. It's been great fun reading through them and sitting down, working out how we're going to film it. We've done it a little bit different this time, as you've seen. We've travelled around and to show you places, and it's been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, thanks very much. We will be putting this video out from now. We're in France, obviously, at the moment. It will probably be out next week when we're back in England. As I said on the previous video, we've had a problem with the camera which has still not been resolved. So we're a bit limited to what we can film. I don't know if there'll be a renovation video out this week, but I am back in about 10 days time from returning, and then it will start again, hopefully. So yeah, as always, thanks very much. Check Hugh's channel out. Just some fantastic work, great guy, lives in Wales, and can't hold that against him. He does his best, but he's a great guy, and check him out and see what you think to his stuff. So as always, thanks for liking, thanks for subscribing, thanks for leaving a comment, and we will talk with you soon. Anything to say, Suze?
Just bye.
Bye.